Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare. Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare. Sadhana Karu Pyare.
साधना करो साधना करो साधना करो प्यारे साधना करो साधना करो साधना करो प्यारे साधना करो प्यारे.
In discussing this kirtan, we had come up to line 27, and we saw how Kripaluji Maharaj emphasized that it is the mind which is to be engaged in sadhana, and for that you use the technique of meditation on the form of God. Further, he stressed that we should beware of the tendency of fault finding. If we wish to exercise this tendency, we should find our own faults. Further, we should be very careful not to harbor ill will towards anyone, even in our dreams, because that will harm us more than anyone else. He also stressed that we are to develop a deep hankering for Shyam Sundar, for God. That is the essence of bhakti, devotion. Now here in 28, he says that as you keep following these principles, your longing for Sri Krishna will keep increasing. It should increase to the point where one pal seems like a yug. One moment in waiting for him seems like an age long. So he has separately expressed this in Radha Govind Geet, where he says, Hari se mile benu Govind Radhe ek pal yug lage Hari se mila de. When in separation from Sri Krishna, one pal, one moment seems like an age, that longing, Hari se milade, that longing will help you meet God. In other words, what will unite you with God? That deep longing. Ramakrishna Paramahans, if somebody would ask him, how will you meet God? He would say only one thing, develop a deep longing for God. Somebody came to him and said, the Theosophical Society, they say that there are these other lokas, and in those lokas there are these kinds of beings with 6 senses and 7 senses, and they do this and that. Ramakrishna Paramahans said, that is all very well. But are the people in that Theosophical Society, are they developing a deep longing for God? If not, then all this discussion is a waste of time, futile. So the bottom line is, how deep is your longing for God? If you wish to know how much you are progressing, measure yourself. Earlier, the longing was for the world. If there was a gain in the world, you would be elated. If there was a loss in the world, you would be dejected. Now, as you are doing sadhana, that detachment is increasing. If there is a loss, if there is an insult, you take it laughingly. Are sab chalta hai. That is a sign that your vairagya has increased. Similarly, that longing for God should also increase. So, Swami Vivekananda asked Ramakrishna Paramahans, Ki Guruji, you said we must have a deep longing for God, then we will meet Him. How deep should that longing be? Ramakrishna Paramahans did not answer his question. The next day they went to bathe in the Ganga that was flowing behind Dakshineshwar, his mandir. When Swami Vivekananda put his head in the water, Ramakrishna Paramahans caught it from above. Now, initially, Swami Vivekananda, being a surrendered disciple, he said, all right, whatever Guruji's desire, I must accept. So he did not struggle to get out. But when half a minute went by, he said that to hell with Guru Bhakti, I have to save my life. He wanted to extract his head out, but Ramakrishna Paramahans had got him in a tight grip. He was not able to get out. After 1 minute, he was feeling suffocated. Now I will die, now I will die. That moment, Ramakrishna Paramahans released him. He came out. Ramakrishna Paramahans said, Beta, how was the experience? Hare Maharaj, if you had kept me inside for 1 more second, my life would have left the body. Ramakrishna Paramahans said, that is the answer to your question. Your question was, how deep a longing should we have for God, then we will meet Him. The answer is this, that when you feel that now if I don't meet Sri Krishna, my life will leave the body. When you have intense longing for Him, He will appear. You know, we said a prayer in the morning. The last line of the prayer was, anybody remember? He Jeevan Dhan, ab to tumhare prem ke bina, yah Jeevan mrityu se bhi adhik bhayanak hai. O my soul beloved, the treasure of my life, now without your love, this life is worse than death. So we just said it with the mouth. Ujjwala was saying it, all of us were following it. But we did not have that feeling within. When that same feeling comes from inside, that now without love for Krishna, this life is worse than death, then He will give it to us. So that's what he says here in this line. And then he goes on to say that char achar mein, in all sentient and insentient things, see your Ishtadev, your Sri Krishna, see His form in everyone and everything. This will neutralize the effect of Maya. You see, what is the effect of Maya? First attachment, then desire, then greed, then anger, and the reverse, hatred. So the mind is getting pulled in all these directions by the objects and persons of the world. Now the simple way to neutralize this is that you practice seeing God in everyone. My Radharani is in this as well. My Sri Krishna is in this. My Radharani is in this. They are at the stage of perfection. We have to reach there step by step by step. So we have to practice. And what do you practice? That is what Kripaluji Maharaj says here. दरस हित लग एक पल ही कलप सम तो ही प्यारे दरस हित लग एक पल ही कलप सम तो ही प्यारे कलप सम तो ही प्यारे
दरस हित लग एक पल हूँ कलप सम तुहि प्यारे दरस हित लग एक पल हूँ कलप सम तुहि प्यारे कलप सम तुहि प्यारे
चर अचर में लखहु अपनो इष्ट कहनत प्यारे चर अचर में लखहु अपनो इष्ट कहनत प्यारे इष्ट कहनत प्यारे
चर अचर में लखहु अपनो इष्ट कहनित प्यारे चर अचर में लखहु अपनो इष्ट कहनित प्यारे इष्ट कहनित प्यारे
Now he goes on to Karma Yoga and he's giving some important points related to Karma Yoga. See, we people, out of lack of knowledge often, we separate bhakti from our daily life. Bhakti is to be done for a few minutes every day, and rest of the time God has nothing to do with it. That is my own private life. And this few minutes is for God. That's not the way it is supposed to be. That is like you have your little closet for puja, you do your rotate the agarbatti and then close God. All right, you stay here now. But the whole world is the temple of God. See, Nrisingh Bhagavan manifested from that stone pillar and he displayed, I am here as well. This whole world is my temple. And your puja is not only with the agarbatti. Every work is supposed to be puja. Swami Vivekananda said, no work is secular. All work is devotion and worship. So that is the perspective. That we are supposed to remember God always. Always means truly always, at all moments. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, during the Sutak, should we not do bhakti? You know the Sutak? When somebody dies in the family, there's an 11-day Sutak period. When a child is born, there's a Sutak. So there are all kinds of misunderstandings and people have their own perceptions coming from tradition. During Sutak, don't do this and all. So they say, on Sutak, should we not do bhakti? I said, in the Bhagavad Gita, did Sri Krishna say that Arjun, don't remember me during Sutak? Sri Krishna said, Sarveshu Kaleshu Mamanusmara Yudhyacha. Arjun, you are to remember me at all times. So we should do every work as an offering to Him. Every work. Our work will also reach perfection and our mind will also be cleansed. And that is Karma Yoga. And if we develop this consciousness, then we will never commit any sin. See, why does a person sin? He thinks, what I'm doing, nobody knows. In New York in 1977, there was a blackout. There was no power. At night, there were so many thefts. The problem was totally out of control. Why? The bad elements of, or whatever elements of society, they realized that nobody can stop us now, do what you like. So what had been restraining them otherwise? The thought, somebody might see me, I cannot steal. The moment we think somebody is watching, we refrain from doing anything bad. One man is going at night 12 o'clock to steal. He thinks nobody is seeing. And his friend comes and thumps him from the back. Are, where are you so late at night? Oh, no, I was not feeling sleepy, so I thought I'll just take a little walk. He found that he is not alone, so the sin that he was thinking of committing, he refrained himself from it. So, Kripaluji Maharaj says that why don't you extend this thought? Why are you leaving it to humans? If you had this fear that God is watching, would you not refrain from sin? And God is not watching sometimes, He is watching at all times. So bring this thought into your conscious awareness. Right now, you always have the feeling, I am. This always remains. But He is with me. God and Guru. This thought we do not keep. Now try and practice thinking in this way. Sri Krishna is with me. It's a fact. He's seated in the heart. You take Him out of the heart. He's standing there. He's watching. So keeping Sri Krishna as your witness and as your protector, you start doing your works. So what will happen? You will do your work physically, but your mind will be attached to Him.